Hey guys, welcome back. Wanted to do a quick video announcing the winners of the mintyPi giveaway, but first I've got a couple of updates for you. The first update is just that Helder's parts will be in stock here in the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out for that. I've seen a lot of people disappointed that they can't get any right now. Be sure and keep an eye on the forums and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I'll definitely be putting up a post whenever they're back in stock. And as I mentioned last time, there are a couple of nice updates for this batch that he'll be doing. The first and biggest update is that the battery monitor board will be integrated into the button PCB for this next one. So that would be really nice. You won't have to install one or buy it separately. And he was able to confirm with the manufacturer that the screen will be pre-soldered directly to the board, so you won't have to mess with ribbon cables or anything like that. So this should save a lot of headaches there. And then finally, he was able to get a slightly nicer screen than last time. This next batch will have a wide-angle IPS display. It's the exact same size, same resolution and everything, but it has much wider viewing angle. So here on the left you can see the old screen, and on the right you can see the newer screen. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see it in video, but it's immediately apparent in person. So a nice little update there as well. And then I've also got some updates for the 3D printed parts. I've got a redesigned bezel. Here's the old one, and here's the new bezel. You see there aren't any screw holes, it just snaps into place, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about stripping the screws or anything like that, and it also just looks a lot nicer. But you can still remove it if you need to. There are some notches on the side that you can take something flat and pull up on it around it, so you can still get in there if you need to. And I've removed and reattached this one several times, and it's still nice and tight when you push it on there. So I feel pretty confident that it'll hold nice and tight even over time. And a thanks to Hoo for helping me tweak the design for that. We tossed around a few different designs and ideas of how to make that happen, and that's what we came up with. So I'm pretty excited about that. The other part that I've tweaked is the base plate. This is what sits in the bottom of the tin. This is where your battery goes, your L and R buttons, and your charger. But now I've got this spot here on the side where your sound card can sit. And the nice thing about moving it there is just enough clearance to fit it in there without removing the crystal. The position is also nicer for your wiring because your USB data lines only have to go to about right here on the bottom of your Pi, and the power can go right here to your battery charger. I'll have those newer versions of the parts ready to go whenever Helder gets his next batch in. And this here is a battery charger that's an alternate part that you can use instead of the micro LiPo. It's quite a bit cheaper. You can find it on eBay for a couple of dollars. In fact, I bought mine from a seller within the US that sold big plates of 10 of them like this that you kind of break off like a chocolate bar or something. And it was only like $12 for all of them after shipping. So really nice and cheap. Great alternative to it. It's about the same size. It fits the same 3D printed part, and it charges the battery at 1 amp instead of 500 milliamps. So your battery should charge quite a bit faster as well. And as a bonus, there's no JST connector. So instead of having to remove that and connect your battery to it, you can just snip the JST connector off of your battery and wire it up to these two battery terminals right here. So that'll save you some work, it's cheaper, and it'll charge faster. So a great alternative to the micro LiPo. And then I've got a few items that I'll be adding to the pseudomod market. First, I've got the screws and the hinge that people have been asking to buy separately. So if you're printing your own and you need to get the screws, you don't have to buy a bunch of them from China or a big pack of them on Amazon or anything like that. I'll have these available for you. And then I'll also have the hinge available separately. So if you manage to break yours, or if you're printing your own parts, but you'd like to have the hinge in the much stronger polycarbonate blend that I use, you'll be able to get that as well. Then I'll also have the button PCB available by itself, so this doesn't come with the screen and it does not have a ribbon cable connector on it. But if you mess up your button PCB, or if you're putting together a 2.2 inch build, which I haven't forgotten about, but I've only had a couple of people ask about it, so it's kind of been low on my list of things to do, but I'll get to it. But anyway, this will be an option for you as well. Instead of using the ribbon cable connector, what you do is you would connect wires directly to the test pads and connect the other end of those wires to the test pads on your screen board. So for example, I saw one forum member that actually wound up soldering their Raspberry Pi backwards, which if you do that, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to try and remove it unless you have the right tools. So this will be a nice option to have. It also comes with the tactile switches for start and select. And then finally, I'm pretty excited about this. This is a sleeve that I made for the mintyPi, and it's printed in flexible TPU filament from Push Plastic. It's incredibly strong, but also nice and flexible, as you can see. Got a couple of ridges in here to make it so that there's space for your power switch and your L and R buttons, so those won't get caught on it and accidentally turn it on or anything as you slide it in. Should provide some nice protection for tossing it in your bag. You won't have to worry about it getting scratched up or anything like that. And just to note, this part here on the bottom looks a little bit different. It's not quite as clear as the rest of it, and that's because I had to print that part a little bit thicker than the rest. But the rest of it is nice and clear. It's really cool looking. So I should have some pre-orders up for that tonight. Alright, so that's it for my updates. As I mentioned last time, Helder wanted to go ahead and put together and give away a mintyPi himself as well, so we drew 2 names. The first one, for the one that I'll be putting together, is someone named James from Maryland, and then the person who won Helder's is a guy named Kyle from Canada. We had several thousand people enter, so congrats to you guys. We'll be doing more giveaways in the future, so stay tuned for that, and keep an eye out for new projects and some more updates soon. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.